Hey everyone, Adam Simmons here from Dgtl Infra, short for Digital Infrastructure. In this video, we discuss Brazil's fiber broadband internet revolution. With 212 million people, Brazil is the sixth largest country by population and the largest economy in Latin America. Additionally, Brazil will be the fastest of the major Latin American economies to recover to pre-pandemic GDP levels. Bolstered by fiscal stimulus and the government's infrastructure concessions and privatization plans, there is an increasing recognition that Brazil's digital infrastructure needs upgrading as well, particularly with fiber broadband internet. Total broadband subscribers in Brazil grew 10% over the past year, with an increasing number of these customers using fiber, which offers much higher speeds than older and slower copper connections. The trend in Brazil is similar to what has happened globally. As more people are working from home or taking part in distance learning, they need faster and more reliable internet connections, which fiber broadband offers. In Brazil, the largest broadband providers are the same companies as the country's largest wireless carriers. One other point to note is that Brazil's broadband providers are all owned by larger foreign companies, which you may also recognize the names of. Number 1 is Vivo, part of Telefónica Brazil, which is owned by Spain-based Telefónica. Number 2 is Claro, which is owned by Mexico-based América Móvil. Number 3 is TIM Brazil, which is owned by Italy-based Grupo TIM, that is better known as Telecom Italia. Number 4 is Oi, which in February 2021 executed an agreement to sell its assets to the top 3 largest communications companies in Brazil that we just mentioned, including Vivo, Claro, and TIM, for a price of 16.5 billion Brazilian real, or $3.3 billion US dollars. Therefore, Brazil will soon go from 4 carriers to 3 carriers, which is similar to what happened in the United States when T-Mobile acquired Sprint. Now let's discuss some of the key fiber broadband metrics in Brazil for these 4 broadband providers. For clarity, we will be discussing metrics that only represent fiber to the home, or FTTH, networks. Fiber to the home, or FTTH, is where fiber is installed all the way to the home of the customer. The fiber typically connects to a box on the outside wall of a home. Therefore, we will not be counting in these coming metrics what is known as fiber to the node, or FTTN, or fiber to the curb, known as FTTC. These networks terminate the fiber at a neighborhood cabinet and then use copper for the remaining physical connection to the customer's home. Because of this copper connection, these networks are ultimately much slower than pure fiber to the home networks. With that in mind, let's discuss Brazil's 4 major broadband providers. First is Vivo, which operates in 266 cities in Brazil. Within these cities, Vivo passes 15.7 million homes and has 3.5 million fiber broadband subscribers. This equates to a penetration rate of 22%. Second is Claro, which operates in 80 cities in Brazil. Within these cities, Claro passes 1.6 million homes and has 459,000 fiber broadband subscribers. This equates to a penetration rate of 29%. Third is TIM, which operates in 34 cities in Brazil. Within these cities, TIM passes 3.2 million homes and has 299,000 fiber broadband subscribers. This equates to a penetration rate of only 9%. Finally, number 4 is Oi, which operates in over 130 cities in Brazil. Within these cities, Oi passes over 8 million homes and has 2.4 million fiber broadband subscribers. This equates to a penetration rate of 30%. So let's pause for a moment and go over some of the key takeaways from all of this analysis that we have went through thus far. Number 1 is that demand for faster internet speeds in Brazil is growing rapidly. Number 2 is fiber broadband internet can fulfill this need for faster speeds, whereas copper cannot. Number 3 is that the number of homes that Brazilian fiber broadband providers have passed with fiber, meaning where fiber is available to customers, is relatively low, especially when compared to Brazil's population of 212 million people. Number 4, at the same time, the number of customers or subscribers taking up these fiber services, shown by the penetration rate, is still very low, being at or below 30% for all major Brazilian fiber broadband providers. Finally, number 5 is fiber that is built all the way to a customer's home is expensive and requires significant investment, which for a country the size of Brazil, being about 90% of the area of the United States, amounts to the equivalent of billions of US dollars in investment. To solve for all of these important factors, these Brazilian broadband providers have been enlisting the help of large global investors to number 1, build more fiber connections to customer homes, and number 2, upgrade existing broadband networks from copper to fiber infrastructure. Specifically, over the past week, important updates and announcements on fiber-to-the-home expansions in Brazil have come from 2 of these key companies. Number 1, Vivo, which is owned by Telefónica, and number 2, TIM, which is owned by Telecom Italia. So let's head over to Brazil now and find out how these top fiber broadband companies are investing in the growing Brazil fiber-to-the-home market. So on March 2nd, Telefónica and CDPQ, a Canadian pension fund, announced an agreement for the construction and operation of a neutral and independent wholesale fiber network in Brazil with the creation of FiBrasil. Telefónica Brazil, which owns Vivo, will contribute an existing network with 1.6 million homes passed with fiber, and through Vivo will be the anchor tenant of FiBrasil. Subsequently, FiBrasil will expand its network to reach 5.5 million homes passed within 4 years, which is an incremental 3.9 million homes passed with fiber. In terms of location, FiBrasil will deploy and operate fiber optic networks in mid-sized cities across Brazil. Overall, CDPQ is investing a total of 1.8 billion Brazilian real, or $321 million US dollars, into this joint venture. If you want to learn more about Vivo and CDPQ's fiber-to-the-home expansion in Brazil, then visit us at dgtlinfra.com to check out the article Telefónica sells FiBrasil, 50% of Brazil fiber network to CDPQ. We will link to it below as well. Only 2 days following this announcement, another key announcement was made. On March 4th, TIM SA, owned by Telecom Italia, announced it had entered into an exclusivity agreement with IHS, an emerging markets digital infrastructure investor, to spin off and sell an equity interest in FiberCo, which is the company's fiber broadband business. By 2022, TIM SA has a goal to offer fiber to the home, or FTTH, in 70 cities across Brazil, more than double its current presence. Additionally, by 2022, the company intends to pass 5.5 million homes, a 72% increase from current levels. Although not disclosed yet, we can safely assume that IHS will also be investing the equivalent of hundreds of millions of US dollars to build out TIM's fiber-to-the-home network in Brazil, in order to meet these ambitious goals that the company has set out. If you want to learn more about TIM and IHS's fiber-to-the-home build-out across Brazil, then visit us at dgtlinfra.com to check out the article TIM SA enters exclusivity with IHS for Brazil FiberCo spinoff. We will link to it below as well. So those are 2 recent updates about some of Brazil's largest fiber broadband providers expanding their digital infrastructure across the vast landmass of Brazil. Indeed, this fiber-to-the-home build-out trend goes far beyond Brazil and is a sweeping phenomenon across Latin America at the moment, with similar announcements in Chile as well. You can read up on those developments as well at dgtlinfra.com by checking out the article Telefónica sells KKR 60% stake in Chile fiber network for $1 billion. We will link to it below as well. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.